Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Are You the Spy, a game show here on The Incomparable where we try to figure out who the spy is. I have an auspicious panel gathered before me today, and I will be introducing them in the order in which they will be sharing their clue words. So first of all, Cicero Holmes, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you very much for having me for once, Quinn. This is the first time I've played this game. Or is it?
And we're so excited to have fresh blood. Dan Morin, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'd just like to put all these matters to rest by announcing that, yes, I am the spy.
I knew it.
There you go.
James Thompson, are you the spy?
I've forgotten how to play this game, so by definition, I can't be the spy.
Or are you the best spy of all? And finally, Kathy Campbell, welcome.
Hello, I am here to be vented because I am terrible at either being the spy or not being the spy. Basically, I am here just to be, the victim.
How did you know this was the special Among Us only version? Are you the spy? Well, let's get into a bit of refresher / reveal of how this game works. So there are going to be 4 rounds of this game today. In each round, there's going to be a new category, and there are 10 words in that category. I'll read all 10 words to you, and then I'm going to message 3 of you 1 word from that selection. The 4th person is just going to get the phrase, "You are the spy." Everyone, including the spy, is then going to have 2 minutes to try to come up with their clue word. This is a single word that relates or points to that answer somehow. It can be a proper noun. It can be a hyphenated word, but it does have to be, a hyphenated word in normal use, not just 2 words squished together. There's been some back and forth on this particular aspect of the rules, but I have decided to finalize it. You are allowed to Google things during this 2 minutes. If you're not sure about something with this clue word, you can Google things to establish your clue. But after that point, when you're in the discussion section, you can no longer Google things. Now, after these 2 minutes, we're going to go around in that circle and everyone will say their clue words, and then they'll have 5 minutes of discussion with everyone trying to figure out who the spy is. So it's all of your jobs at that point to question each other, try to get other people to explain their words, to figure out if they know what the word is or if they are bluffing. After those 5 minutes, we'll go back around that circle and everyone will vote on who they think the spy is. Now, if the person who is chosen as the spy is whoever gets the most votes. If there is a tie, then 2 spies were picked, and we call on both of them. At this point, you do gain points for correctly identifying a spy, but even if that spy is caught, they can also gain points by correctly identifying the word at the end of the round. You can also lose points if you are picked as the spy, but you're actually a civilian. So you do lose points for being too vague and suspicious. And there is a single point up for grabs every round for my subjective favorite clue word. Just a little bit of an example. My classic example is if the category is superheroes, your options might be things like Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. So if the word of the round is Superman, you could say, my clue word is Krypton, which everyone will know that you're not the spy, but the spy will also immediately know what the word is, and you'll never be able to catch them. You could also choose something like orphan, which wouldn't give the word away, but it's also vague enough that people might be suspicious of you. So you want to come up with a word that's vague enough that doesn't give it away, but it's something that you can defend adequately when we get into the discussion round. Are there any questions before we get into round 1?
I'm mildly terrified that I'm going to screw all of this up, but it's good. We're good. It's going to go great.
If any history of the show would tell us, I am the person most likely to make a mistake. So,
I mean, that really does set me at ease.
Yeah, I'm always the spy. Don't worry about it. So for round 1, the topic is video games. Your options in this category are Minecraft, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, Rocket League, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, Call of Duty, Among Us, Overwatch, and Zelda. All right, at this point I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and you have 2 minutes to come up with your clue words. In post, there'll be music here. Here's just
Make our own.
quiet silence.
Right.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
If our Among Us games are any indication, I will be forcibly ejected from the airlock and will have to be innocent.
Does anyone want to see me do a medical scan? Or
Yeah. I've got some trash to throw.
I saw Kathy in engineering, and she was doing a task.
Cicero vented.
Right.
I saw Goody Proctor venting. Anyway,
Wow, that's a hell of a crossover.
that is the end of our 2 minutes. So we are going to go around and say those clue words, starting with Cicero. What have you got?
My clue word is blizzard.
All right, blizzard. Dan.
My clue word is shooter.
James.
My clue word is crafting.
And Kathy.
My clue word is hero.
All right, we have got blizzard, shooter, crafting, and hero. You're all going to have 5 minutes to discuss. As a reminder, this goes for all rounds. If there is group consensus that you know who the spy is ahead of time, you can call it before the 5 minutes. You must vote after the 5 minutes. And that time starts now.
Okay, so guys, are we just going to talk about how James is the spy now, or are we
Right.
going to sit around and deliberate a little bit longer until we decide that?
I am not convinced that James is a spy. I have a suspicion. My suspicion's pointing me elsewhere.
Oh.
Oh.
That sounds like something the spy would say.
Yeah, it does, but it's not me.
Also sounds like something the spy would say.
I'd like to assure all of you.
See, that is very interesting to me, Dan, because I am along with Cicero, I too believed James was the spy based off of his word, because of reasons, but
Well, okay, all right,
Well,
that's not going to cut it.
I mean,
we're not
no.
going to throw him out the airlock because
Well,
of
she
reasons.
normally does. So.
it's true. But the fact that I can't Google a specific thing for this game makes me then wonder if I missed a part of the game because it's
Well, okay, let's start with this. James, your word was crafting, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a reason you chose a word that was part of one of the words on the list?
I think it's more the other way around, is that one of the games on the list has this mechanic, but it's an extremely common mechanic across many games, if not all of the games there.
Oh.
I mean, not all of them, right? I mean, but you're right. Several. That's fair.
I mean, I would say a good 5 or 6 of them there.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Half.
Okay.
Well done.
And then, I mean, I think yours, mine, and Kathy's all they apply to multiple of those, right?
Yeah.
We all gave things that could apply to several of them.
yeah.
Now, Cicero, your word was very specific, I feel
Yes.
like.
My word was specifically generic.
I mean, does your word have a trademark symbol after it, or just?
Or are we talking about weather here?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, it is possible we are talking about weather. It is also possible that we are talking about anything, right? Like, what else is a blizzard? Maybe we're talking about a delicious summertime ice cream treat.
This
Yes.
feels to me like distraction.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by this argument here.
I say this mainly because I feel that if it's a clue that applies very strongly with one of the words here.
That is
and you know that could be the word that Cicero has, but if it's not, I don't know. Like, if somebody else had that word, would that be suspicious? That seems like it would be suspicious.
Okay, so now the way Dan you are speaking about this,
Let's not get too meta.
yeah, no,
This whole game is meta.
right. That's all this discussion is meta discussion. But
We know you're the kind of person to knife somebody in the back in a room in Among Us.
Tiff's here.
The fact that you are concentrating on Cicero with that word makes me wonder if you were the spy because you didn't immediately understand.
Oh, no, I understood exactly what his word was.
Okay.
I just don't think that the word that it is associated with in the list is his word.
Oh.
What?
And I don't know how. So I guess I'm saying this. Like, there is a word in that list that is most strongly associated with the word that Cicero gave, the clue. I don't think he got that word from Quinn. Like, I don't think that was the word he was given.
Wow.
That's my theory.
Okay.
So you think he just went all in and narrowed down on a single?
I think he did.
Yes.
I could be wrong, but I think he did.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean,
Sorry, I don't want to.
That is a choice.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is
that
a
was
choice.
That's true. All right.
You all have 30 seconds left.
I'm kind of inclined to go with Dan's argument here. I think it's either Dan or Cicero. And I think knowing Dan's Among Us persona.
Oh my God, this is going to get me in so much trouble.
So much trouble. We've got this meta cross gaming of the meta conversation.
Yeah, I
know there's a lot happening.
think Cicero is the spy.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh. Wow.
In a truly wild 5 minutes, we have now reached the voting stage where you all have to make a call. So we're going to go back around again. Everyone gets to vote on who they think the spy is, starting once again with Cicero.
Dan Morin gave really great arguments to try and deflect from James Thompson being the spy.
So he's on my payroll? Is that...
There's only one spy.
There is only one spy, but I don't know. Dan may be playing like One Night Werewolf, and he's like helping the werewolves right now. So,
Okay, so who's your vote going for?
It's for James.
Okay.
100%.
Dan, who's your vote for?
I'm voting for Cicero.
All right, James
I'm voting for Cicero as well.
and Kathy.
My vote is for James.
Oh, deadlocked.
So we do have a tie on the first round of the game, which means that both people have been selected as the spy here. Cicero, are you the spy?
I am not the spy.
James, are you the spy?
Of course I'm the spy. I mean, like, once Blizzard was said, my cover was completely blue.
What the heck, Dan?
Dan, what happened?
So confused.
What?
You know, I told you that I was worried about screwing up the game. I definitely screwed up the game. I pulled a Glenn Fleischman there because I forgot. You know what? I forgot about the mechanic of how that works.
Right?
Totally did blow it. I had that basically right until that last moment. I was like, oh yes, that was my mistake.
I just can't get over the fact that the first words out of Cicero's mouth were James is the spy, right? And then Dan swooped in there and was like, actually, it's Cicero.
I know. I just snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. I'm so sorry.
And I managed to roll with it reasonably. I thought.
No, that was me literally forgetting how the game was played and being like, wait a second.
Did you think that the spy receives a word?
I thought that everybody got different words. That was my
Okay.
misremembering.
Okay.
There we
And I was
go.
like, wait, can't be the one Cicero said because that's the exact same word I got. Yep, that's how the game is played. Yep,
Yeah.
told you.
Okay. That makes so much more sense because I
Yes.
was really confused.
I was so confused. You know what?
So
I have played a
confused.
lot of lying games recently, and
Yes.
all the rules from all of them have jumbled together in my head, and I could not remember.
Sorry, we've had a lot of conversation here, and I forgot that there was one more step to this round, which is James has to guess what the word is.
I am guessing that it was Overwatch.
It was in fact
yes.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
Well, that went very well. Sorry.
Thanks, Dan.
No, I thank you for your service. Because I was literally seconds away from going, damn it, you got me. And then you just jumped in.
Well, I won't make that mistake twice. I'll just make a new mistake next time.
Right.
New mistakes for everybody. It's fine. You know, this is the nature of the game.
Right.
Oh God.
What a great way to start the game, though. Like,
Looking forward to this showing up on the best of list.
This is like that round where people pick such obscure words. I swear, I thought I sent people different words. Okay, so for the score breakdown for that round, Cicero and Cicero and Kathy both correctly identified James as a spy, so they get 3 points. James was caught, but then he got the word, so he also gets 3 points. And Cicero does lose a point for being incorrectly identified as the spy through truly no fault of his own. But
does Dan get negative inspiration for completely ruining?
Dan gets a valuable life lesson.
It's too late for me.
Honestly, I am also going to give my bonus whimsy point to James for crafting, for going so hard on such a specific word and yet not being completely picked as the spy. Truly admirable.
I mean, I do think my argument that half the titles involve crafting there, even
It's
down
true.
to Zelda.
It was not.
Yes.
It was a pretty good spy word.
Well, especially because I have never played Overwatch, and so I wasn't sure whether or not there was a crafting component in the game.
I have also never played it, though I was relatively sure. But then again, I didn't understand.
yeah, you just you got nothing, Dan. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's okay.
That's fine.
Well, we are going to move on to round 2. This category is companions from Doctor Who.
Is this an Erica Ensign round?
Yeah.
This is in the spirit of Erica Ensign. These are all from New Who, because I haven't seen Old Who, so
Thank
there you go.
goodness.
Your 10 options are Rose Tyler, Captain Jack Harkness, Donna Noble, Martha Jones, Amy Pond, Rory Williams, River Song, Clara Oswald, Bill Potts, and Yasmin Khan. All right, everyone should have gotten their individual words. Is that correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All the same word, Dan.
Yeah, I got it.
It's all the same.
Got it.
There are now 2 minutes on the clock. I'm going to step away for a moment while you guys are doing that to go figure out what my cat's destroying.
Everything.
Right?
All right, and we are going to come back and share our clue words, starting with Dan.
All right. My clue word is London.
James.
My clue word is attraction.
Kathy.
My clue word is love.
And Cicero.
My clue word is adventure.
All right, we have London, attraction, love, and adventure. Sounds like a fun time, I'm not going to lie. And we've got 5 minutes on the clock.
Well, 3 of ours sound very much like one person, and one gave a very, unlike his previous very specific answer, he gave a very vague answer, and that is Cicero. And I think
Oh, wow.
Cicero this time might actually...
I'm just sitting out of this one. I feel like I got in enough trouble last time.
No, I don't understand why.
I mean, adventure. Every episode of Doctor Who's an adventure.
Right.
Well, except for the slightly dull ones. But yeah,
Right.
most of them are adventures, yeah.
But they're meant to be, like, they're even if they're boring, they're supposed to pretend to be an adventure, I would say. But it specifically for this word, that was a word that was fairly
Yeah. Well, is there anybody in that list that this does not apply to?
So I have to admit, guys, I don't watch Doctor Who that often. So, like, I kind of knew the people, but I at least knew that part. Like, I knew that adventure would qualify. So,
So ignorance as a defense of being a spy.
interesting choice, specifically with the fact that he didn't say that he had never watched.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to vote.
Yeah, me too.
I'm good.
okay.
Are you guys calling a vote?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get spaced, I guess. But good job, Spy.
Dare I even ask who everyone is voting for?
I mean, I feel like for the structure of the game, you kind of have to.
Yeah. Okay. Dan, who do you think the spy is?
I'm tempted to make a joke about somebody that is not the person to vote for, but I've decided it's not worth it, and I'm voting for Cicero.
James?
I, too, am voting for Cicero.
Kathy?
I am also voting for Cicero.
And Cicero, who are you voting for?
You know what? I'm voting for the spy, James.
It's always James. That's right.
Yes.
I mean, that's
When
a
in
fair,
doubt.
fair.
Amazing. So on a perhaps record 2-minute long round, Cicero has been selected as the spy.
Yes.
Cicero, are you the spy?
I am the spy.
Dun-dun.
Yeah.
You do have a chance right now to gain points. Do you have a guess on what you think the word is or who the word is?
Martha Jones.
That is not correct. It was, in fact, Rose Tyler.
That's a pretty good guess, though.
Yep.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, Cicero. So I was recently home with my family, and I played the card game that this game is based on. And when it was my turn to be the quote unquote spy, I did so poorly that I literally said my word, and everyone looked at me and said, "It's Quinn." I just hope everyone knows that I am the worst person at this game, and that's why I host it.
Right. Well, hey, so I guess I can host the next one.
It's passed down from person to person.
Yes.
All right. Well, in this case, Dan, James, and Kathy all got 3 points from catching the spy. And I'm also going to give Kathy my whimsy point for love, just because that's nice.
Yes.
And we are going to go rolling right along to round 3. There really is the risk with the incomparable version of this game, is that sometimes the categories are kind of specific. And if you haven't seen the show, then it's just a really rough time for you.
Right.
Yep.
It's all the luck of random.org, I guess. But okay, round 3 is going to be animated shows. So our 10 options here are The Simpsons, Looney Tunes, Animaniacs, Cowboy Bebop, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Futurama, Scooby-Doo, SpongeBob SquarePants, Transformers, and Rick and Morty. We've got animated shows and 2 minutes on the clock.
This has now become like a distraction technique.
Right.
To
Yeah.
make us not able to think of things.
What
So
are words?
Kathy's the spy.
Well, I like to start making my list, and I have a variety of words.
Is that your list making music?
Yes.
We are going to go around the order again, this time starting with James.
I'm going to go with fantastical.
Kathy.
Fanatic.
Cicero.
Evolution.
And Dan.
Watch this real jerk move. Adventure.
Incredible.
Wow.
Fantastical, fanatic, evolution, and adventure. You all have 5 minutes on the clock.
I have a... Okay. Kathy, I'm really interested in your word.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that?
Specifically, like, the viewers of the show are very fanatical about it. So that's kind of
okay.
how I went for.
You know what? That is a very specific generic answer.
Yeah, I agree. That is a good way of phrasing that.
So is adventure.
Yes.
Is it, though?
Choosing the word of the spy before,
Yeah.
that's a very Dan way to do it. It's like,
Yes.
oh, I'm the spy now, so nobody's going to guess because I chose the word that what the spy chose before.
This is like, if we're going with meta Among Us gaming, this is some very Kathy is trying not to get thrown out the airlock move here.
This is Kathy has been found with a knife in her hand.
But like he threw himself on the knife. It's not.
I found the body.
Yes.
While I think Dan's kind of reverse Dan move is good at not casting suspicion on himself because it's so suspicious, but I think he's just doing it for the comedy bit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
thus I think it's Kathy.
I concur.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I mean, that's the thing is with Kathy is, like you said, I think a very specific generic is a great way to put it, Cicero. Like there are definitely several on here that could make that list, but I'm not sure if I would pick this. I don't know. It doesn't quite.
I mean, so you know what? Here's the thing. I would say for the word that Kathy's answer is appropriate.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, so unlike my very specific wrong answer last time, your very specific vague answer this time is good.
Just like your excuse of, I've like never seen or like very whatever.
Right.
I literally like animated shows, specifically these 10.
Right.
I can't think of like full episodes that I've watched of really any of them.
Wait,
None
wait,
of them?
Wait a minute. So what's happening right now? So is Dan's using my clue and Kathy's using my excuse?
So really, that means Cicero, you must be the spy.
There's some flailing happening over there right now.
I'm ready to vote.
Yeah,
I think I'm on board with this one. Yeah.
yep.
You are calling the vote, or are you still?
Yes.
Yes, we're calling the vote, and if we're wrong, then a spy has done an excellent job.
Excellent job.
All right, James, who are you voting for?
I think it is Kathy's turn to go out an airlock.
Kathy,
I'm going with Dan.
Cicero,
Yeah. I'm going with Kathy.
and Dan.
I'm also voting for Kathy.
Kathy, are you the spy?
You're all gonna die because yes, I'm the spy.
Nothing to do with the game, but
Do you have to
No.
say that while Kathy was a spy, I cannot believe you all let Dan get away with adventure that easily.
Yes.
but it's the sort of like, well, that is entirely what Dan would do.
It was
so-
also one of the first words that popped in my head, and I kept trying to think of something that was better. And like, yeah. Anyways,
Well,
we'll let her guess.
Kathy,
We'll let her guess.
Yes, you do get a guess. So, what show do you think it is?
I am torn between two, and I am going to go with Avatar.
It is Avatar.
See, our clues were good. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put down Elemental as one of my possibles, and I
That's
thought that was
too
too obvious.
much,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
I also had anime, which is like, it's not
Yeah.
really, but like
Right.
it narrows it down, or family, like, but it's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah, and I still maybe I've seen Animaniacs, but mainly just like little clips of it. But really, I haven't watched.
I am surprised just
Wow.
because this like spans the spectrum
Yeah.
of
Yes.
like animated shows.
You have a child.
The Simpsons?
Yeah, no, I don't watch The Simpsons. I don't count myself having watched Scooby Doo because even though Avi has watched like all of the new ones and most of the old ones, I never like sat and paid attention to them. I was just like sitting on the couch doing other things while it was being
I
watched.
just feel like it was unavoidable when I was growing
Yeah.
up. though.
Yeah,
Yeah, Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, we're going to get letters.
I know. I'm sorry. I've failed as a millennial, apparently, and a mom and a spy. So really, I think it's time to move on.
Aw.
Right.
Aw.
Your failure is complete.
You didn't really fail as a spy, though, because you did get the 3 points for guessing the word, which means everyone got 3 points for that round, as well as I have to give my bonus point to Dan for adventure. That's so funny. So we're going into the last round in a moment, but first let's check in on scores. So for scores, James and Kathy are tied with 10 points each. Both have had very successful rounds all through the game. Dan has 7 points and Cicero has 5. However, it still is anyone's game because in round 4, there are going to be 2 spies. So here's how this works. Most of it is as normal. There are just going to be 2 people, which since there's only 4 of us, is 50% of the game, are going to have to bluff instead of knowing what the word is. When we get to the end, everyone will vote for 2 spies, and the 2 people who get the most votes will be those selected spies. And you get 3 points for each spy that you catch.
Ooh.
There's also an extra component for the spies. If both spies escape, they get 3 points each. If one spy escapes and the other one is caught, that person gets 4 points. So you are not working together. You don't know who the other spy is. You're working for different governments. You don't know who the other person is. And if you think you figured out who the other spy is, it's in your best interest to throw them under the bus as hard as you can.
Wow.
Like true collaboration and love on the incomparable, throw people under the bus or out the vent.
So true. And as I usually try to do, the 4th round is a little bit fun with the clues.
Oh, good. A little bit
A
fun.
little bit of fun.
Just
Only a little bit.
Yeah, the last rounds were a lot of fun, Quinn. Come on, what's happening?
So for our round 4, the category is mystery tropes.
Ooh.
These are not simple words. They are tropes and concepts. So the 10 possibilities are: 1, the butler did it. 2, it's a bottle episode. No one can leave a space until the mystery is solved. 3, everybody did it. 4, the villain monologue. 5, the suicide was really a murder. 6, there was a major red herring. 7, the story is true crime inspired. 8, there's a stakeout. 9, a fake weapon was switched with a real weapon. Or 10, takes place on a train.
Nice.
I encourage you all to be creative with this. I was like, is this too vague? And I asked people and they were like, no, that seems fun. So I'll give you the names if it doesn't work out of who encouraged this.
And then we will all do them in.
Yes.
So there are 2 spies in the game. I did remember to message 2 people.
Yay.
And the other 2 people have their word. So I'm going to give you all 2 minutes on the clock, starting now. It was very fun going through like tropes lists to pick these. I just rewatched Clue, okay? So
Nice.
You got to watch Knives Out now.
I also watched that again recently. Honestly, Clue has almost every one of these. Not all of them, but like a lot.
Yeah.
I think maybe between Clue and Knives Out, it has every one of these tropes, except maybe train.
The next Knives Out could be on a train.
There you go.
There we go.
It is time for the 4th and final time to share our clue words. So we are going to start with Kathy.
My word is key.
Cicero.
My word is flashback.
Dan.
My word is motive.
And James.
My word is Poirot.
What?
Well, you've got 5 minutes to talk, starting now.
Wait a minute. What was that word?
That was the name of a detective who is
Right.
associated with many and possibly all of these.
Yes.
I think you'll find that not associated with all of them.
Really? I've read a lot of Poirot stories.
Yeah. All right.
Anybody else got anything?
What were the words again? What did we have from people?
Your words were key, flashback, motive, and Poirot.
All right. Oh man. So my guess is that Quinn, there are 4 spies, right?
Oh, God. There are 2
We're all-
spies.
Everybody did it.
Although I literally checked. I was like, did I say it? Tell everyone they were the spy? Like,
That is truly the best trope.
Yes. Oh gosh. So Cicero, I would love to know more about your word and the specific reasoning on why you chose it.
Because for the word that I was given, or the word that we were all given, the whole point is that you learn about what transpired, how the murder happened via the flashback.
Interesting. Interesting.
Right. Well, Kathy,
Yes.
Same question.
I wanted to make sure that mine had very specific and yet general. That did
Well
not
played.
work. Really leading into the previous round. No.
Right.
So I knew that whoever also was not the spy would know that I was not the spy with this word. Hopefully, that was the guess. So that I could then help pick out who the two spies were.
Seemed like that paid off for you?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
I already have my stars next to my names.
Oh.
Does that mean we get like something bonus at the end of it? Or
Yes, you get pushed off the train.
Yes.
So I guess, Dan, same question that Kathy asked that
Sure.
I'm now asking.
Yes. You want to restate the question so I remember?
Yeah. So the question being, why did you pick your word?
I picked my word because, again, the delicacy of trying to figure out a thing that's related to the word itself, but without giving it away. But it's not something that's connected to all of the words, right? Like, I feel like, well, I don't think so, honestly. I think it's connected to a lot of them, but there are a lot of cases in here where I would not necessarily put motive on the list.
Interesting.
And I think, again, the person who is not the spy, along with me, not the spy, will know exactly what we're talking about. And I think it's tricky because two people are the spy and two people aren't. So we really only have one other legit word to go for here.
And James, not to leave you out.
Well, I mean, I was employing a similar strategy to Dan in that I wanted to pick something that covered almost all of these things, but very specifically didn't cover a few of them.
Right.
And, Dan might be protesting that it covers all of them, but I think that's what a spy would do.
Yeah.
I will say, I give you that doesn't necessarily hit all of them, but it hits a lot of them.
Well, motive is literally one of the sort of criminal standard things, means
You
motive
have
and
to have
opportunity.
motive.
So,
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true, but it doesn't necessarily relate to all of these.
if there was no motive, then what we would have is a story about a serial killer, and that's not what these stories are.
Well, even serial killers have motive, let's be clear. But in these specific tropes, motive plays into some of them, but not all of them. In these specific tropes, not just mysteries in general, but in these specific tropes, because that's what we're talking about here.
Right. Interesting.
That's what we're talking about here. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm ready to vote.
I mean, I am too.
I know who the spies are, but if anyone has any more questions,
Maybe I think Cicero should I'm sure you're wondering why I've called you all here today. It's because I know who the spy is, and I will now unmask them. Why isn't that on the list?
Right.
And I do like the stories where the murderer gets up and does do that speech.
Yes.
Well, we are at the end of time, so it is time for perhaps a villain monologue. We are going to go back to Kathy. You have two selections for the spy.
I believe that Cicero and Dan are the spies.
Cicero, who do you think the spies are?
the correct answer is Kathy and Dan.
Dan?
The correct answer is Cicero and James.
And James.
I think the random number generator wouldn't have selected Cicero again. I think it's Kathy and Dan.
Wow, lots of different answers and accusations thrown out here. I'm going to need a minute just to do some counting.
1, 2, 3, 4 spies.
Well, I've got all these numbers counted up, and with 3 votes, Dan was our top spy selection. So, Dan, are you the spy or a spy?
I've called you all here to announce that I am the spy and I'm going to kill all of you.
No!
We had 2 people with 2 votes each, which means they both have been selected as kind of our, follow-up spy here. So Cicero, are you a spy?
Am I a better spy than Dan? No, because I am not the spy.
Kathy, are you a spy?
I am not.
James, with only one vote for him, has successfully escaped.
Wow.
I was indeed the spy.
Wow. So, James has escaped. I'm not sure this has ever happened before, that only one spy has escaped in the second round, or in the last round.
I threw you under the bus.
Under the train, please.
This means that James also has a chance to guess what the word is. So, James, what do you think it is? Oh, wait, sorry. No, yeah, I did that in reverse. Dan is supposed to be able to guess, not James, because James got away. He already gets his
James
point.
got-
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
See, there's my... Listen, I made it through almost the whole game without making a mistake on the rules.
I'm really proud.
Thank you. I'll get it one day. Anyway, yes, sorry. Dan, you get the chance to guess for points.
I will guess, and now that I've built myself up, now I will look foolish when I get it wrong. Yeah, that's what I like to do. I'm going to guess that the trope was bottle episode.
You were surprisingly close.
But wrong.
But wrong.
James, do you have one you want to throw out here? You don't get points for this, but do you have one you want to throw out before we reveal?
I'm going to say the butler did it.
Oh, James,
man.
that's so... Oh, that hurts so much. Because what did you say before this? Just as a joke.
I don't know what I said.
So this is how I knew Dan was the spy, because he kept saying train like the
Right.
entire time.
Right. Yes.
But that was the
Yes.
answer.
That was the answer.
All takes place on a train.
Which is exactly what James said.
James's spy thing worked out pretty well, because I feel like that's the strongest Poirot link here, too.
Exactly,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is why I thought he wasn't the spy.
Yep. And Cicero, I'm sorry that I thought you were the spy.
Kathy, I'm sorry. I thought you were the spy. It's
Yeah.
okay.
James played us all for fools.
Yes.
Me too.
Fooled by James. Yeah.
I am equally duped along with the rest of you. Except for I actually voted for him.
Okay, let me do some math here.
May I interest you in a great app called pCalc?
Oh, hey, yeah, yeah. All right, so everyone actually correctly identified one spy, which is kind of impressive that it was so equally distributed. However, Cicero and Kathy do lose 1 point for being picked as the spy. James gets another 4 for escaping while leaving Dan in the dust. And as terms of my whimsy point, I'm going to give that to Cicero for flashback, because I thought that was very clever. So I'm going to give you that. And now I'm going to pull out pCalc and do some math.
I wasn't even convinced that James was the spy, but I totally voted for him just because, it's James.
Out of badness?
Yeah, pretty much.
That was a brilliant clue.
Well, I felt very strongly that Cicero was the other spy. And so I was like, well, who should I vote for the other one? I'm not going to vote for myself. And I was like, what is the strategy here? I guess I'll just vote for James.
Well, James had an absolutely stunning last round, racking up 7 points and being actually the only spy to escape all game. And he has ended the game in first place with 17 points.
It's my British accent lets me get away with anything.
Just everybody else was in a little cluster, with Kathy with 12, Dan with 10, and Cicero with 8. Overall, a very strong game all around. Lots of spy catching, lots of good clues, and a great set of amazing players. Thanks so much for playing, everybody.
Thank you for having us.
And just remember, adventure.
But after that point, cat attack, sorry.